Hello and welcome back to Top of the Kops. This week we've got a blinder, a great show, two very esteemed guests. One is a United fan and one is a Liverpool fan. The United fan would agree with the Liverpool fan in saying that the Kop is the voice of the football's most famous stand. So here they are. It's Callum Sanderson from Kopish and also Sophie Richo as well. How the hell are you both?
Yeah, good. Thank you, mate. How are you?
Very well, my brother. How are you, Sophie?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for having me on as well. How are you?
Absolutely fine in this very sunny day. To be fair, I just rushed back from a food shop, so I'm a bit all over the place. But let's get into the show. Like I said, a really good one this week. We have a massive amount of talking points from this game's Project Restart games, and then also our match day mixers. This is the part of the show where we ask our guests 5 of their match day mixers. So this is a jacket, a pair of trainers, a bit of music, some food and a drink that they would normally all have during match day. Obviously, we can't go to the match day anymore. So this is bringing the best bits to you. We've got a Would You Rather and Top of the Kops, the top moment of the week, as well as some questions from the viewers as well. So guys, I mean, in terms of what we've seen at the weekend, Liverpool 0-0 draw, Sophie herself a 1-1. I mean, is it what we expected coming back into the first game? Let's start with you, Sophie.
Yeah, I think so. I think we look really rusty, to be honest, against Spurs. But I think that's to be expected. A lot of teams are rusty. Not having fans there as well. I think nobody really expected players to be 100% hit the ground running. I know they've had a few training sessions, but match fitness is totally different, isn't it? And I think that it'll take a few weeks for players to actually hit their full potential, which is why I think they'll see a lot of bizarre results over the next few days, to be honest.
Yeah, what about you, Cal?
Yeah, I think I've got to echo what Sophie said. I'll be honest, I went into the Everton game a bit arrogant. I thought we were going to roll them over because
me too, man.
They're depleted with injuries, and obviously we're top of the league by a distance. So I thought, yeah, we're going to go there, we're going to give them a real pasting. But yeah, just watching the game, we were really off the pace, and just watching it, it's going to take a bit of time for all these teams to get back in their rhythm. I mean, Man City seem like they found their rhythm already, but they pretty much got given a bye by playing Arsenal.
Yeah,
it was all good for them.
Yeah, I mean, I was like you, man. I thought it was going to be a quite an easy win. I predicted 3-0. It was actually the most watched Premier League game of all time, racking up a peak of 5.5 million views. Do you know what the record before that was, Sophie?
No. What was the record before? United Liverpool?
City versus United in 2012, and that was 1.3 million. So this one's absolutely smashed it out of the park. You say though, Cal, I mean, we thought we'd win it. We had 63% possession, only 2 shots on target though. I mean, if we were talking about looking forward to the next game, you'd like to see Salah and Robbo straight back in?
Yeah, definitely. I think the game kind of exposed where our frailties are in terms of squad depth with those 2 positions. As much as Origi is a clutch player and he gets important goals at important times, he's just not a winger. Minamino, still not quite sure what his best position is yet. And then obviously at left back, I don't think we've got anyone else in the squad who's naturally left-footed as a defender who can deputise for Robbo when he's not in the squad. So it was tough watching that, seeing Milner obviously come off injured, and then Gomez, as good as Gomez was defensively in the game, every time he went forward, he was cutting back and then passing back in field. So it just completely shut off the pitch, and it made it easier for Everton to defend as well.
Absolutely agree with you there, bro. So the dugout says we looked really rusty, too understandable. We haven't played in a long time, but positives were Keita, and Matip was really good until he had to go off. Everton were good defensively. I mean, I personally think, Sophie, that Klopp may have tinkered with this starting lineup a little bit too much. If you looked across at the bench, Salah was warming up right from the off. I think he could have at least come on for 20 minutes at the end. Chose to play Milner at left back when Robbo maybe wasn't top fitness. But, I mean, what did you think the score was going to be?
I said beforehand, I did a prediction. I thought Liverpool were going to win 2-0. I said, I don't think you're going to batter them, but I just think you've got too much quality going forwards. And Ancelotti has obviously been drilling that Everton squad. Like you said, they defended well, defended as a unit. And also, they were unlucky not to go on and score in the second half as well. And I think if they took that chance, and obviously Ancelotti, everyone would be singing his praises. But I think first game back, a bit like us having Spurs, I think that's a hard game to come into in a derby. We know that obviously people aren't going to be fully fit. And I think that I can't blame Klopp. Obviously, how far ahead you are as well. You don't want to unnecessarily risk players like Salah if they're not fully fit. Imagine if he'd have risked him and he got injured, for example, and he puts him at the start of next season. You don't want to risk that. So I kind of understand it. I think that all in all, it was a fair result probably, but it was just a real reflection on that players aren't fully fit yet. This isn't an accurate judgment, you could say, because obviously Liverpool are streets ahead in terms of in the league. And I just think that a point for Everton first game back, a bit like a point for us Spurs. I don't think that's a bad point at all, is it? When you look at 3 months not playing at all, coming into a game like that, I think that is a fair point.
Yeah, absolutely. Just on a side note, Cal, I recently did a video of the top 5 worst ever Liverpool away and third kits, and the one you're wearing right there, Cal, that's where it came. It was number 1 on the list.
Do you not like this one? Is it because of the blue?
Bro,
is it because of the blue?
You already know why I don't like it. Like, honestly, you've worn that tonight. I cannot believe it. It's unbelievable. To be fair, that's a really nice away kit that Soph's got in there. And do you know what?
Yeah,
if I had to buy one of them, I'd obviously still buy the Liverpool one, but with disgust, because I'd never buy United. So, I mean, like we said, we thought we'd win the league straight away with the Everton win and then the Palace win. Cal, just quickly, what game can you pinpoint now that writing will be on that trophy to take us to 19 titles? Sophie looked away when I said 19.
Yeah. I think we'll beat Palace. I think it'll be a tight game, but I think we'll beat them. The City game, if I go with my heart, we'll beat them. If I go with my head, I think we'll either get a draw or they may beat us, depending on how rhythm and form goes. So I think we've got, is it Villa we've got after City?
Yeah.
I'm going to pinpoint the Villa game.
You're going to go with the Villa game. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now, obviously a lot more happened at the weekend, not just Liverpool. I mean, I wanted to get both your opinions on what happened with Leno, because it looks like he's now out for up to a year. I've had this debate today with a mate who's an Arsenal fan where I've kind of said what Maupay did wasn't a red card, but it wasn't nothing. It was 100% a yellow card. And I don't think he's intentionally gone out to get Leno. But if you're Leno, all you see is the nudge and you've landed like how he's landed, which is awful. And I hope he gets better soon. And you're pointing your finger at Maupay. Obviously, we see it differently to how Leno sees it. Sophie, what do you think about that one? Was he right to have a go at Maupay?
Look, I used to play centre forward, and the amount of times that you do that little nudge with the defender into the goalkeeper,
I know all about it.
You don't intentionally do it to hurt them. You do it just to make them feel a bit uncomfortable and put them off. I don't think Maupay went to hurt him. I agree what you said, though. It was dangerous, and so obviously he's been injured from it. I think a yellow card would have been fair. I don't agree with the Arsenal fans getting into Maupay's head afterwards and whatever, because if anything, it went against them and made them look like plonkers, to be honest. But I think that it didn't mean to hurt him. It was a bit naughty, but any centre forward does that just to try and make the defenders feel a bit uncomfortable and put the keeper off a little bit. I don't think he did it to hurt him.
Yeah, I always kind of called that one leaving one in on him.
I know you're there. That's it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like malicious, but you kind of want to let them know you're there. I mean, what ensued after that, Cal? Apparently, now these are alleged claims that someone who goes by the name of Guendouzi has bragged about how much money Arsenal get paid. He's kind of rubbed in the fact that Arsenal at the time of this, I think it was 1-0 or 1-0 to Arsenal. I mean, first and foremost, I mean, obviously I'd love to be on 40 grand a week, but I think that's what Guendouzi's on. And then you can, I mean, what do you think of that, bro? I mean, you can't have that in your team, can you? Bragging about money. That's just toxic.
Yeah, I'll be honest. When I heard that, I was pretty disgusted by it, because I think the one thing that kind of unites footballers and football fans across the world is a lot of footballers aren't born rich. They generate their wealth through their talent and through their hard work and through their effort. So I never begrudge how much a footballer makes, because they're always in the media, they're always in the limelight, they get very little privacy, etc. However, to go from making that money and then boasting about to another footballer is, for me, it's just stupid. And I mean, Guendouzi's young, so I mean, you could give him that as a fly, but being my age, I'd never gloat about my salary to anyone else, because I could have a job today and tomorrow I could be out of a job. Like, God forbid, Guendouzi could get injured tomorrow and not be able to kick a ball again in his life, and he's not making that sort of money. So I think when you're making that sort of money, you've got a responsibility to show your appreciation, but also not to just rub it in anyone's face, especially in the current situation with what people are going through as well.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry, do you think that's the problem with Arsenal at the minute? Because obviously we've said the last few
100%.
seasons, obviously under the radar, but that they've been failing massively. And then all of a sudden, like, you're seeing stories like this. Ozil as well is another matter that obviously needs resolving. I just think it shows that the mentality issue there at Arsenal. I mean, they've needed a centre-half for as long as I can remember now. And for some reason, David Luiz is the person that they end up signing. Like, there's just error after error, like with the running of the club, but also in the background in terms of the players. I think that obviously Ozil is unsettled. And to go around and brag like that, just imagine in Fergie's team, if you're to turn around, or even in Klopp's team at the minute, if you're doing that on the pitch, like, the manager's not going to be happy. And to do that, you've got to be literally battering teams. And Arsenal aren't doing that. So you can't, he's talking the talk, but he can't walk the walk, can he? And I just think that it just makes Arsenal look embarrassing, if I'm honest. I just think you can't do that, especially if you're not winning.
Do you know what I said to my mate earlier? I said, do you think Tony Adams would have stood for that? Do you think Martin Keown's would like overhearing his teammate bragging about, there's no way? And I think when Paddy Vieira left in 2005, I think the last 15 years, this kind of horrible, toxic kind of sludge has kind of infiltrated Arsenal's boardroom. And it's just taken away from the whole. I mean, let's face it, Arsenal are a great English institution. And I think the last 15 years, it's just been ripped away from them. And there's players like Ozil who are running amok, to be honest, getting paid absolute fortunes and not playing.
Getting paid to play Fortnite.
15 years ago.
Ozil is a talented player, but he's a player that you want at Arsenal to turn up every single week, and obviously there's far too many occasions where he's been invisible. And I think that obviously is like a problem. But when you're literally losing to Brighton, you're telling me you can't bring Ozil on, or if you're drawing, for example, to Brighton, you need someone to create something, and Ozil's not even being looked at. That tells you that there's a massive issue there, and obviously parties are upset by that.
Absolutely. The dugout comes back and says it was sneaky from Morpay, but it isn't a red card. Prayers for Leno. I'm amazed at how Guendouzi didn't get banned. A great shout out here for Soph, Kieran B. Out of all the female football YouTubers, I think Sophie is the best. Talks a ball of sense. That girl really knows her stuff. Love that. Cal, I'm sure you'll get one later on, mate. So running through the rest of the top six, then we mentioned humility there with Guendouzi. Sophie, I think, and I'll go to you first, Cal. But Bruno Fernandes was that I've got a screenshot basically of him quoting Man United saying man of the match to Bruno, and he goes, "Yes, in every game I have had man of the match." He played 6 games. I think he said something like 6 games, 6 man of the matches, another one. Kind of look at me, another man of the match.
Sorry, yeah.
I mean, would you want that from your star signing, Cal?
Yeah, I don't mind that. I think that's different. I think that's more of a banter. A situation of banner. I'm happy if like say for me Firmino was to get 6 man of the matches in a row and turn out to be like that, I'd lap it up, because I just think that shows a bit of harmony. I think it actually shows harmony within the squad and within how you feel about the club, that you're confident enough and have the sort of inclination to do that tweet, and he's deserved it. I mean, I know he's a Man United player, and I'm not gonna sit here and speak nicely about Man United. I can't. I struggle to. But he is one player. He's one player that if I could have gone back in time and taken, and I've been quite open about this in the past as well. He's one player I've always wanted at Liverpool for a while.
Yeah, there was rumours at one point of him maybe coming to Liverpool. I mean, he scores against Spurs, Sophie. I mean, do you see him and Pogba now kind of just starting every game? I mean, they do look good together, I can't lie.
I hope so. We just need to obviously sort out who's going to be disciplined enough to play that holding role. Because Fred, he's been playing well, our most improved player, but he's not a disciplined guy. So we need to find obviously the right balance in the middle. McTominay or Matic, I think, would suit that better. But Pogba came on the other day, transformed the game. Bruno getting man of the match again. Look, like I said, he's walking the walk as well as talking the talk, and I think you can't say too much about that. If he's winning player of the match and scoring goals every game and playing the way that he has been playing for United, then fair play. Why not talk it up? Because he's, like you say, he's deserved it. To be honest, I thought Bruno was a bit sluggish the other night as well. He still got man of the match, and I thought some of his passes weren't on point. But even then, he still stood out. It just shows that he's a signing that his level's above what we've already got at the club. And I think that he'll get the best out of, obviously, Pogba as well. We yet to see the best out of it in a United shirt. And the likes of Martial as well. I think that Bruno, having that creativity in there, he's just going to go from strength to strength. I mean, he's only just started. I did think it was a bit of a laugh how we got into the team of the season. Obviously, he played 5 games. You can't. That's not right. When you got players who've been grafting all season, players like Kovacic, for example, who I think's had a good season. I think that was harsh to put Bruno in. I think he deserved maybe a special mention. But other than that, I think why not brag about it when you're earning it week after week? Do you know what I mean? And it's just transformed the whole club. We were so negative until Bruno came in and he kind of flipped it on its head. That's the effect he's had on United.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe one day he'll brag about 6 Champions League trophies instead of 6 man of the match scores.
But I don't see happening for now.
Yeah, exactly. That's a long time off.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Chelsea fought back to beat Villa in the end. I mean, the top 6 race now, if you cut out the top 2, is looking strong. I mean, who do we think is actually going to get that 5th place if City don't get it through the Champions League?
I think it's hard, isn't it?
I think he'll be United.
I think it's the same. I think with Pogba coming back in with Bruno, like just before, it's harder after this break that we've had. Just before the break, we were the informed team. We had a good run of results. It's hard. We don't know how we're going to play after this break, and it's the same for any team, really. Not necessarily going to be the informed team afterwards. So I just think with Rashford coming back, Pogba coming back, it just gives us that extra boost, and I'm hoping we can go and push on. But I think a team that we need to look out for as well, and I hate to say it, is Wolves.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a dark horse recently in the last few years. I know we've got some questions about Wolves later on in the Would You Rather, so we'll save that for then. But I wanted to move on to the match day mixer. This is my favourite part of the show. I'm actually going to go with Sophie first this week. And basically, like I explained earlier, Soph, I gave you a list and you picked out one of each. And we're going to go with your first jacket, which you picked out. You obviously got to be warm at match day. You've gone for the Nike jacket and then also the Nike Air Max combo. Now, these are the watermelons, I believe. South Beach watermelons, beautiful Air Max 90. Now, talk to me about this kind of Nike top and bottoms here.
I'm one of these where I'm a bit of a stickler like for mixing brands and stuff like that. Like top and Nike trainers, and I can't be doing with that. I mean, normally I would probably wear like, I don't know, a kind of puffer jacket, North Face puffer or something like that. But I like to be coordinated with my brands, so that's why I went for the Nike and the Nike, because that was the most suited in the list that you gave me. But yeah, I'm a massive trainer fan. I collect trainers. Like, that's one of my hobbies that I love doing. I'm a massive trainer fan, and obviously the classic Nikes have to always be up there, don't they?
Absolutely. Listen, I'm a big trainer fan as well. Currently wearing the Puma 020 Riders. Love this colorway. It's a vanilla and green. Definitely get these if you can. But moving on to your music. Now, again, I gave you a list of maybe 30 to 35 big names. And you went with actually my favorite name on this list, the man I've interviewed, a man that just makes classic music. And that is, of course, Mr. K.A., a.k.a. Kano. Talk to me about what kind of tune that would get you up for a big match there at Old Trafford listening to Kano.
When you're talking Kano, there's one song that comes into your head, and that's obviously P's and Q's, because it's just legendary. But I'm a massive grime fan, have been like since a little kid. But like P's and Q's was a big song for me, like growing up. And yeah, like for me, like Kano is just the ultimate. Like, he's the GOAT in terms of grime. He's the artist that I listen to the most. And it's, to be fair, Giggs I'd probably say is my second, but Giggs wasn't on the list, so Kano, just for me, easy choice. Easy choice,
absolutely. I think personally for me, Kano, Dizzy, Chip, Getz, and Wretch are my top 5. But listen, that's a whole different show. Callum's nodding along. You're going to get your time in a sec. Now, obviously, you have something to eat. So you've gone for the Mackies. Is that like the en route to the stadium Mackies, just so you can get it down and get the game on?
That's it, yeah. There's a Mackies literally a mile away from Old Trafford, and obviously we pass it on the way through. So that's what I normally do, just grab a Mackies on the way through. It seems the easiest thing. The other option is a pie at halftime. Obviously, I like to do that as well. They've got that good old United pie. So yeah, I like a good pie at halftime. We
had Chris from the Redmen TV on last week, and he chose a home baked pie. I mean, I totally agree with you. Having a pie on match day. The trick is, though, what I've learned is that you buy the pie at the start of the game. You open the cellophane. This is if it's a puppy pie, of course, and then you put it in your pocket for the half, and then by half time you get it out and it's not too hot to eat. It blew my mind.
I need to try that. Because by the time you eat it, it's like 80 minutes in the game, isn't it?
Yeah, or you just get stuck into it straight away and it's too hot and you can't eat it. You get heartburn, ruins your day. But obviously, now you got to wash it down. You've just gone with the classic Coca-Cola. I rate that. I mean, obviously, if you're getting a Mackey's, you're getting a Coke as well. And there you go. What we do have to say. Yeah, exactly. Let's get some brand deals for Sophie. No, but I think other soft drinks are available, guys. That's what we should say. So that's your match day mix. So great choices there, Soph. Now let's get on to Cal. So in terms of a jacket or what you would wear up top, one of the options was this. I mean, for me, Cal, this is a summer. I mean, there's no way I'd be going to Shrewsbury away in the FA Cup in January just wearing that, mate. There's no chance.
No, I agree. If I was to wear that in the winter, I'd wear like a Nike Pro underneath or something like that. But yes, definitely for the summer. I'm too skinny not to wear anything underneath. I'd be in trouble, man.
Love it. Now the shoes again. You've gone with an Air Max 90, a classic Air Max staple. I've gone for a different colorway. You've obviously got the watermelons as well. I think, do you know what? With Air Max 90s, I mean, I'm a big Air Max 1 kind of fan. I believe that the Air Max 1 is genuinely the best body of a trainer, like the chassis of it. Never had a pair of Air Max 90s, funnily enough, but I appreciate them still.
Yeah, I've only had one pair of Air Max 90s in my life, if I'm going to be honest. And I think I've always had a sort of affinity to those. I do love an Air Max 1 as well. But Air Max 90s, yeah, I'm a fan, man. I've always been a fan since I've been at school, and I've had one pair. I hope to get another pair in the near future. My birthday coming up soon, so I'll throw out a few nudges and leave those non-subtle messages.
Yeah. Just keep dropping it. I'm sure someone will. The dugout says he goes to Ed's Easy Dining for a Liverpool game. There's also Mr. Wong's outside Liverpool, famous Chinese shop. Love it there as well. So that's your trainers and your top. Now, obviously, you got to get something to eat. Again, this is more of sorry. Let's do music first. So, I mean, this guy right here is that you don't need to say much when you see his picture. For me, and I think you guys would both agree that Bob Marley, wherever you are in the world, you could be in the Middle East, you could be in Russia, you could be in South Africa. As soon as you hear Bob Marley or reggae music in general, there's just like a good vibe. Do you know what I mean? Like you can never be angry. Do you know what I mean? Even if you wanted to. Cal, talk to me about your love for Bob.
Yeah, so for me, like my family's Jamaican, so I've grown up on his music and I love Bob Marley. And it's weird when I'm going to a football match or when I'm going to play football, I can't play music that gets me amped up because then I find I almost go the opposite direction. I get too amped up. Whereas I need something a bit mellow. Something with a decent beat, something with decent rhythm and flow, and he's just a man. Like I can go through Bob Marley songs all night, and I just love it.
Yeah, I mean, I got to agree with you there, bro. Now, again, like Soph, this looks like a meal that you'd probably eat en route to Anfield. You've gone for a Subway, which I don't know. I just didn't think you would have gone for that one.
What did you think? What did you think I'd go for?
You know what? When I put Subway on the list, I was like, what's the one place I can think of just to fill up some numbers on this list? I was like, Subway. It was a real throwaway one. I didn't put any thought into it. But I don't know, Subway before a game.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for a Subway chicken and bacon ranch. The one you've got in the picture is a lot healthier than what I usually get, to be honest. So yeah, I think a sub you can get it quite quickly. You can eat it en route. You don't like with McDonald's. Obviously, you got the chips in the bag. You got the burger as well. So you got to hold the bag. You dip in the chips and stuff. So Subway's like it's an upgraded sandwich. I've got bad technique. I've got bad technique. So yeah, Subway I can hold. Yeah.
I reckon the right techers here is to get the nugget or burger box, fold it over. You put the chips in the other side. You obviously carry a couple tissues just to keep it moving en route, but then you have one of the little ketchup things in that, and you can just kind of. I mean, it's all walk and eat, isn't it? There's no with you two. But then obviously you've got to wash that down. You've gone for the isotonic Lucozade Sport. I mean, do you know what, guys? Match day. I'm thinking, let's get the pints in. You two, non-alcoholic drinks.
Yeah, so I actually don't drink. I don't drink alcohol.
Oh wow.
All my friends do. So whenever we go out, I'm the quote unquote responsible person and the designated driver. But yeah, I don't really drink fizzy drinks either. I more drink water and juices. So and Lucozade Sport just gives you that little kick and that keeps your energy going. So yeah, when I saw that on the list, I was like, yeah, I'll have a bit of that.
So yeah, you heard it here first, Lucozade. Let's get Callum sent a box
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Get some Coca-Cola out to Sophie as well. Yeah, I mean, personally for me, it's always got to be a pint on match day. I think even if I'm working, a pint just. I mean, when I go out and speak to the fans around full time, I always feel like a pint or two down, just soak up the match day experience, then I'm more involved. Not that I'm an alcoholic or anything. I just like a pint on match day.
We're not judging you, bro. We're not.
Yeah,
judging.
no, absolutely not. Go on.
The thing
Right,
is with me, I
Sorry,
don't
no,
really. I do drink occasionally, but obviously because I play football as well. Obviously games are on a weekend most of the time. I play on a Sunday, so like I don't drink because obviously I'm driving to and from the stadium and stuff. I can't really turn up and go over the next day to football. I don't think it gives the best impression, does it? So
No.
yeah, that's why I
No.
don't.
I've played in some Sunday League games that might disagree with that. Listen, guys, we're going to get into what you both do later on in the show when we take some questions. So if you're watching, guys, get them lined up for the guys. Sophie's obviously a player, and Callum, both of you are content creators, but Callum is coming to see us from Kopish today, which is a great YouTube channel. Check that out. So now it's time for Would You Rather. So Sophie, I want you to imagine that you are Jurgen Klopp. I know it's hard. But I want you to be in his shoes and try and give me this. Which player out of these would you sign for Liverpool? So a close-up, we've got Raul Jimenez, who's had a great comeback in Project Restart. We've got Saint Maximin, who as well scored and assisted for Newcastle. We've got Traore in there and Pulisic, who scored again. These are all kind of form players at the minute. Now, I know you're a United fan. It must be tough. But who would you sign, considering their ages, how far along they are in their career, for Liverpool to go into their squad this season?
I'd probably say Traore, to be honest with you, because obviously Shaqiri is the one you typically bring off the bench, isn't it, to replace part of that front three. I think that he is such a weapon if you were to bring him off the bench. We've seen what he can do at Wolves, and I think with a coach like Klopp as well, we've seen what Nuno has done for him, and I just think that Klopp would get the best out of Adama Traore, and I think he's such a weapon. Like I say, if you're struggling to break a team down, bringing someone like that off the bench, I just think it would be incredible. So, I mean, it's tough. I think the maximum is decent as well. But I think with Adama Traore, even if it's just a sub, I think Klopp would get the best out of him. Yeah,
I'd have to agree. Cal, would you reckon, mate?
Yeah, we even spoke about this on Kopish yesterday. Yeah, Traore, he's something. He's a beast, isn't he? If Klopp can even get him playing at an extra 10%, we'd have some player on our hands. He covers Mane and Salah as well, so he covers two positions. He's just, he's quality.
Yeah, I mean, I personally would just go for Saint Maximin just because I think he's a touch younger than Traore. Even though Traore has kind of that La Masia experience coming from Barcelona. I mean, Jimenez, someone I think would actually be needed quite a lot at United at the minute, though, to be fair.
Yeah, I would love us to sign Jimenez. I think he's quality. He's just a goal scorer, isn't he? But to be honest, I can't see many. I mean, Wolves, we used to say that they need to keep their big players, but I can't see any players leaving there. It seems Nuno has got the camp settled. They're obviously competing for Europe, which is more than they were ever expected to achieve. And I just think that players are happy at Wolves at the moment. But if anyone is to leave, it may be as Adama, because like you said, he's come from Barcelona. He may want to progress even more. But yeah, Jimenez at United, I would love to see that. I just can't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, he'd probably be asking for quite a hefty sum there. I'd say maybe over 30 mil. Someone like Pulisic, though, still only 22. Obviously, come from Dortmund, is an American. So I think, I mean, the time's passed now for us to get him, Cal. But we were looking at him, I think, when the transfer kind of happened.
Yeah, I was quite shocked we never actually went in for him, because I know our American owners obviously are massive admirers of his, and obviously they're very big on marketing players and marketing players abroad as well. So I actually thought we'd try and go in for him, and I think under Klopp he'd work really well as well. But for whatever reason it didn't happen. I think obviously we may have got priced out of the deal as well. But yeah, he's still a good player. Still a good. I expect him to do good things at Chelsea.
Yeah, I think he got injured last season, which maybe stunted it a bit. Kieran says Traore for me, but I take Jimenez as a plan B, seeing how much we cross. That's a great point, to be fair. We cross to our smaller players, Trent and Robbo, to Jimenez head sounds very good. He also says he'd have a pint for sure. So none of this isotonic Coca-Cola like that. Now, guys, I wanted to let the audience know a bit about yourself. So we'll start with you, Sophie. You mentioned there that you're a player yourself. You also create content. So kind of talk to us about what you're up to at the minute, what you've been doing over lockdown, and what the future looks like.
Lockdown, to be fair, I've been working hard on YouTube because obviously everyone's stuck at home and wanting to put that content out there. Because obviously a lot of people feel lonely, and I've been wanting to try and connect with those people. I've been doing stuff like FIFA streams, and yeah, just it's been hard because you haven't been able to talk about football. I'm grateful that now we can start to talk about it again, and it gives us something else to talk about. But yeah, I played football for Kidderminster Harriers. I've played for Wolves since a really young age. Obviously, I'm from Wolverhampton, you can tell by the accent, but I'm a massive United fan, and I fell in love with Paul Scholes when I was really young, and that was basically, Scholes made me the player that I am. Like, if it wasn't for him, I used to try and pass like Paul Scholes, and it turned out actually I was pretty good, and then that's how I got scouted. But yeah, Scholes got me playing in the first place, and that's why I've always felt that obviously love towards Manchester United. But yeah, my channel is all about getting females involved, speaking about football, because I think you find a lot of time like women are put in front of a camera because of how they look, not necessarily because of their knowledge on the game of football. And that was what I was trying to obviously eradicate. I wanted people to realise that actually we do know what we're talking about a lot of the time, and just showing off the knowledge from being a player, and obviously a massive United fan as well. That's what the point in my channel, Hairdryer Treatment, was. Yeah,
absolutely. So the hairdryer treatment is your content there. I mean, where did the idea kind of stem from that? Obviously, we're aware of the term hairdryer treatment, but it's a great name for a show, I've got to say.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, obviously, there's a few people that they're like, what's your channel called again? And I tell them hairdryer treatment, and they'll be like, what? And I have to explain it. But if you're a football fan, you should understand that hairdryer treatment obviously implies to what Fergie used to do, tell players off at half time. He used to scream in the face, and the hair would go back, and they compare it to the hairdryer being blown. And yeah, and it was called hairdryer treatment. So ultimately, it's just about ranting at players, really. But being a girl, I thought it was a good play on words, and yeah, I stuck with it.
Do you know what? I think I had a browse over your YouTube channel earlier, and it seems like that's the one that's picking up the most. In terms of a player, though, Soph, I mean, I didn't manage to have time to get a video of you playing, but I mean, you said you were comparing yourself to Scholes, or you were, looking up to Scholes as a younger player. I mean, what position are you? Centre mid?
CDM, yeah, CDM. I used to be a striker, actually, so I used to be fairly quick, but with age, I've kind of dropped deeper. Yeah, so I play CDM now, which is obviously even better in terms of passing than playing like Scholes. And I can't tackle, so.
So just like Scholes then.
Yeah, trying to pass.
And in terms of past lockdown and beyond, Sophie, what's kind of the plan going forward?
Just trying to boost my channel as much as possible, and hopefully get back to football games again like we used to be able to, go into United Women as well as obviously the men's games as well. I think everyone's just missing actually being at a ground. I mean, obviously we're watching football now, which is good, but it's not the same, is it, without the fans? You can have the sound on or off, yeah, that's fair enough, but it's not the same without the fans. So just looking forward to getting more content from actually being at games rather than having to do it from home. I think that's what I'm hoping for. But I've appreciated the lockdown in the sense that it's given me obviously more time to concentrate on my content and get more consistent, because obviously having a full-time job, I haven't been able to do that as much. I'm in work twice a week at the moment because I teach. So it's given me more time to concentrate on that. So I've been kind of grateful for it in a sense as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really busy, and hopefully it carries on that way for you. Cal, what about yourself, man? Talk to us about Kopish and the guys there.
Yeah.
Been going since 2016 now.
Say that again, sorry?
Been going since 2016, Kopish.
Yeah, so it's weird how we all kind of came about. So firstly, Soph, I actually recognised your accent because I've got a lot of family in Wolverhampton, but I didn't want to just say straight away, but yeah, I could tell. So yeah, I've got a soft spot for Wolverhampton. But yeah, so Kopish, so Matt and Drifty, I first actually knew separately. So me and Matt used to go to the same barbers, and we both used to always speak about Liverpool. And then I don't know if you know the Cheeky Sport podcast.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so Jermaine's a good friend as well. So Jermaine invited me on, as he does, after Liverpool lost the Champions League final, the Real Madrid one.
Yeah, horrible
So
game.
yeah. But obviously Jermaine knew what he was doing. He was getting me on because he wanted a reaction. So me and Drifty were both on the show, and it was the first time we had met. So he was like, "Look, this is my channel and stuff." So at the time they weren't called Kopish, they were called the Football Banter Show, and I was just starting my own YouTube channel separately as well. So we just started all speaking more. I started making more appearances on their show, and then we just sort of just came up with the idea that we just branch and merge together, and then call our stuff Kopish, and we'd just be dedicated to Liverpool. So yeah, we've only done one fan cam. We did a fan cam for the Crystal Palace game because we're based in London, and that, I'll be honest, doing that fan cam was a bit rough because a couple of the Palace fans wanted to do damage to us, and then some of the Liverpool fans thought that we weren't Liverpool fans because we didn't have a Scouse accent. So we were just looking over our shoulder every time we were doing it. Yeah, so that was fun. But yeah, we've been able to obviously do some collaboration work with yourself and some other channels as well. And we're just in the process of trying to build ourselves up, and hopefully when things are back to normal, we get to some more games, do some more fun things on the channel. But yeah, for me, YouTube is that escape because I work full time. I've got a 9 to 5, plus I'm on call sometimes at the weekends. I've got a 1-year-old who is busy and active. So my missus is a key worker. So life's hectic, life's busy, but I'm in a good position and I love doing the YouTube channel. So can't complain in the slightest.
Yeah, I mean, with the fan cam stuff, I started in January for Kop TV and went to every single game, home and away in Europe, whatever. And I feel like there's that initial barrier where people look at you and are like, is he one of us? Because like you said, I don't have a Scouse accent.
Yeah.
But all my family are from Liverpool. Like my mum sold programs on the Kop in the 70s, and when I want to do that, so it is what it is, really. But no, you do find that a little bit, and I think fan camming is tough, man. And it's, I mean, yeah, you can be having a great time in Madrid, but then you're back down to Shrewsbury. A lot of ups and downs. But can I get a prediction from both of you just before we go on what you think the United score will be? And obviously Callum will do the Liverpool score with you. So Soph, big game for United coming up. What's the score?
I'm hoping Pogba starts, and I'm going to say a 2-0 win. I think De Gea needs a clean sheet. A lot of pressure on him at the moment. A lot of judgment on his mistakes. I'm hoping he gets a clean sheet for his confidence. So going for a 2-0 win. And
just quickly on De Gea, do you think Roy Keane's criticism of him was just? I mean, personally, I think if you're getting paid that much and you let a shot like that in, you deserve a few words. But I think he says I'd be throwing swings at them, I thought,
yeah. It's hard to argue with the point of what he was saying. Of course, De Gea deserves criticising for the mistakes, but to literally threaten not to take him back to Manchester and say he was going to punch him, he went a bit too far, shall we say? But it's hard to argue with the point that he was making. Like, De Gea does need to improve. I mean, even before lockdown, he made a few mistakes, and obviously people were turning saying, "Is it time for Henderson there?" Or I think give him a bit more time. Every player was rusty. Every player has been rusty for other clubs that I've seen as well. If you're a keeper and you make a mistake, we know there's a lot of attention on that because 9 times out of 10 it results in a goal. If you're a midfielder and you make a mistake, there's 9 times out of 10 someone who's there to back you up, so it's not as noticeable. I think Henderson will be United's number one. I think it'll be England's number one as well. I just think that there'll be another season until that happens.
Yeah, Chris Wilder definitely rates him very highly. Callum, Liverpool Palace tomorrow night. If we win that and then get anything like a draw or a win at the Empty Had. I mean, Sophie wants us to win it there as well, by the way. So
I'd love to.
Sophie's definitely on, for that game.
Yeah.
I think we'll beat Palace 2-1. I think it will be a tight game. I think it will be a nervy affair, but I think we'll edge them out 2-1. If we win it at the Etihad, oh goodness, life's just complete, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, that would be the dream.
I think winning it there would be better than getting a guard of honour there, if I'm honest.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame there's no fans. Quick one from Kieran before we go. Sophie, are you better than Pereira?
Yeah, easy.
Silly question, really. Guys, quickly shout out where we can find you online. It's been an absolute pleasure having you both. So we'll start with Sophie.
Thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure coming
No
on.
worries.
At Richo is my Twitter. Obviously, my channel is Hairdryer Treatment. And my Instagram is Richo, just with a kiss on the end of it as well.
With a kiss on the end. Callum, what about yourself?
Yeah, I haven't got any kisses on the end of mine, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, my handle's there. So it's at Callum Sanderson on Twitter and Instagram. And then it's at Kopish on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well for the channel.
Amazing, bro. Next time I have you on, please wear a home shirt. Please.
No, I will. I've learned my lesson.
Honestly,
now.
how? Like, the worst shirt we've. Listen, don't get me.
No, I'm sorry, man. I messed up, man. I'm sorry.
I can't believe it, bro. Blue. Oh my days. Listen, guys, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you both a bit more. And we'll see you back here on Top of the Kops very soon. Next week, guys, we're going to be back with another show, and it's likely that we'll have another 2 fantastic guests as well. So stay locked until then. Share the show, and we'll give you another match reaction, fan cams after the match tomorrow around 10 o'clock on this channel. Cal, if you're up for it, I'd love to get you on for the fan cams as well.
Yeah. Just
big love to you both, and take care.
Thank you, bro. Take care.